What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Killmark Collectors. Today, we're going to be talking about the traditional wisdom of shield extender or armor plate versus shield booster or armor repair when it comes to PvP combat. Now, if you've been playing for a while or you've met anybody who has given you PvP advice, more likely than not, they're going to have said, go use a extender or go use a steel plate. You'll be better off in the long run when it comes to PvP. And in some cases, that's certainly true, but we're going to take a look today to figure out when it is appropriate and when you might be better served with using something a little bit different. So with that, let's undock and get started. As I said in the intro, the typical wisdom here is that you want to be using an extender to give you some extra hit points so that when you're in the middle of a brawl or a PvP battle, you can pop that, you can get a little bit extra buffer and hopefully outlast your opponent. And typically what happens is you see these PvP builds with the extenders and everything going on versus the PvE builds that have the boosters or the repairs that are getting that repair, those heals over time. And so what I want to do is I want to look and actually see, like, is this a better option, or are there certain use cases or certain styles that would actually benefit more by using some of the PvE type of mods for PvP. Real quick before we get started, I do want to make an announcement, and that is that I'm going to be doing a live stream next Monday, the 28th of June at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. I think that is 2 a.m. UTC, so my apologies for the folks over in Europe. But what I'm going to be doing is testing out some faction cruisers in Nihilist Space, or Nihilist Space, however you want to pronounce it, on the test server. So if you're interested in that, be sure to come over, drop in. We're going to be doing some theory crafting. It should be a lot of fun. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. Just to demonstrate kind of how this works and why a PvE versus a PvP build might be slightly different, I'm going to set up two Tempests on the test server and just basically have them start wailing on each other. One Tempest has the two large extenders, one has two large boosters, and you can see that as we start going, the Tempest with the boosters, which is the one that you're seeing on screen right now, is holding fairly steady. It's not too bad. It is draining a lot of cap, but when we pop that extender for the other Tempest, it's obviously got that little blue mark, and it's, you know, extra shields, yay, whatever. It's going to take longer to burn down. Now, if I speed up the footage here, and you'll see that as we're popping extenders, we're going through, we're fighting, we're just slugging it out with these two ships. The Tempest that's got the extenders will ultimately drain the shields of the other Tempest a lot faster. And this is for a couple of reasons. One being that you are able to just get a little bit extra shield passively, not just actively, so you're at a benefit there. But then you also have the added bonus of your capacitor and the way that you are able to manage that. Now, in a normal engagement, you probably would be seeing a lot more neutralizers and other opponents that are coming in and trying to kill you and get you down a lot faster. You're usually not going to have battleships 1v1ing, but just for the sake of argument and being on the test server, and I can only do so much, this is kind of simulating what you might see. With the shield boosters, the big thing to note here is that you are getting those heals over time, and they're permanent heals, meaning that with the extenders, it's going to last for a little bit, and then as soon as that expires after the 25 seconds, it is going to go away whether or not the enemy has chewed through those shields or not. These two ships are both built to just wade into the middle of battle and just start slugging it out. There's not a whole lot of finesse, there's not a whole lot of pilot skill when it comes to this type of battle, because all you're really doing is just getting into your optimal range and then trying to face tank those shots from the enemy while he is held down or, you know, is in your optimal range so that you're able to then kill him faster than he can kill you. So in this instance, I do believe that the extenders are worth it. If you are going to be going into the middle of battle, you're trying to DPS down a target as quickly as possible, it makes a lot of sense to want those extra hit points. But let's take a look and see some maybe other styles of fighting. And I'm going to use my personal favorite ship, which is the Arbiter Covert Ops 2, as a way to illustrate this point. Now here I've got my Arbiter about 20 kilometers out, and my optimal range and fall off for the Tempest is going to be basically giving it around a 30 kilometer effective range. Now, I'm going to go ahead and throw some tracking disruptors on here as well, because again, that's one of the things I love about the Arbiter is those disruptors and the ability to really hamper the enemy's guns. And the whole idea here is that I'm going to be kiting rather than just going in and trying to brawl. As I do this, you'll see that the Tempest is going to be very ineffective at being able to hit me, both because of my speed with my micro warp drive and also my tracking disruption. The two of these combine mean that realistically, if I were to just sit at my optimal engagement range, which for me is going to be around 25 kilometers, because my Predator web disruptor is going to have a 30 kilometer range. If I'm sitting at 25 kilometers and just orbiting and basically speed tanking or kiting, I'm not going to have a whole lot of trouble avoiding this Tempest shots. Now, let's say I start running low on cap. I need to stop one of these tracking disruptors. I'm just going to move in a little bit here so that you can see what I'm talking about. And I may actually start taking some hits. If I'm running an extender here, I might be able to go ahead and pop that extender, absorb some of those hits, and then that shield goes away. But I know that I'm taking on a bigger target. I know that I'm going to be hunting something where I may need to lock it down and be there for a little bit while reinforcements arrive. If that's the case, the thing that is going to be really critical here is not my ability to just sit there and face tank and take this Tempest down, but rather the ability for me to stay on field, have my the rest of my fleet come in and help me with this target while I've got it locked down. Now, with that being the case, it's going to be more beneficial for me to be able to constantly repair and have that permanent repair to my shield or to my armor versus the one-off extender that I might get, but is going to be gone for after 25 seconds. So be thinking about that and how you're planning to stay alive, because if you are planning on just face tanking and relying on your mods, then yeah, the extenders are going to be a lot better. It's going to make your life a lot simpler. But if you're going to be kiting, if you're going to be speed tanking, where what you really are looking to do is not win because of your mods, but rather win because the opponent can't hit you. And when they do hit you, it's maybe a glancing blow, or it's, even if it is a pretty critical hit like I had on the Arbiter, if I'm able to then recover and repair over time, I can manage my cap, I can manage that shield so that I'm able to stay on field longer and hopefully have the rest of my fleet warp in and actually kill this guy. So in summary, what I'm going to say here is that I do think that the extenders are still the primary way that most people should be using PvP mods. But if you are planning to speed tank, or if you're looking to hunt bigger ships, like a Arbiter Covert Ops versus a Tempest, then it might behoove you to basically treat it like a ratting engagement, where you're trying to stay on field as long as possible, you're trying to heal over time to get those little nicks and dings back as the Tempest is hitting those glancing shots. I know that this is not necessarily the traditional way that a lot of people use these mods, but hopefully if you're experimenting and playing around with some stuff, it might give you a couple of ideas for how you can take this and really apply it in your own PvP content. So, as always, thanks so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, hit the button, do whatever you're going to do. If you're interested in trying some of this stuff out, maybe putting a shield booster on and trying some of this speed tanking or kiting, be sure to go down to the Killmark Collectors Discord link down at the bottom. We're setting up a community where we can do a lot of these 1v1s and have kind of some ranked battles that hopefully will get us ready for the arena when it does arrive in August. So if you choose to join us, we'd love to have you. Be sure to come in, say hi, set up a match, and let's try some of this stuff out. And until I see you in the next video, fly safe.